Twitch, YouTube coming up here in just a little bit. And it is Thursday night. We're on a little bit later at this point, thanks to the fact that we have, again, a little less in the way. Hang on a second. We have audio. Okay, hang on. I knew I forgot something here. All right, that's probably sounding a little better. Sorry for the special effects there for a second. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. It is just past 10 o'clock Eastern Time on Thursday. We are on with Weather Overtime. Some of the graphics here might be a little bit less than what they are. We had to do an upgrade on the system, and we lost some of the graphics out there for tonight, so we'll give you updates as we go along. But in the meantime, if you got questions about what's going on in and around your area, we are here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, covering southeast Tennessee, western North Carolina, north central, northwest Georgia, and extreme northeastern parts of Alabama, which is where for right now in those last two areas we've got some scattered showers and diminishing thunderstorms taking place. So there's really just not that much going on at this point outside of just a little bit of activity for right now, and should be staying that way. We have a few more showers up toward northeastern Tennessee, from the Kentucky-Tennessee line down to about Knoxville, everything drifting on down to the southeast. But anything showing up in the way of heavy amounts of rainfall just really is not taking place at this time. So, so far so good on that. We, again, have little, if anything, in the way of severe weather anytime soon. Apologies for that. Thanks a lot to our new sponsor, Clay Kistner Paving and Seal and Coating. That's our new sponsor for the weather window. Thanks to Anthony Wheeler of Chattanooga for a beautiful view. Not sure if this is sunrise or sunset around the Patton Chapel, Browns Ferry Roads area. I believe that's back to the west of Chattanooga. So again, a very nice view there. So thank you very much for that. If you've got pictures for the Clay Kistner Paving, Seal, and Coating weather window picture of the day, please send that in to us. Again, email, drop into our social media channels, or again, go to wdef.com/weather for more. Well, you'll be able to see all that going on there. Into the morning hours, again, we will be looking at a chance of showers and maybe some thunderstorms in the afternoon. Temperatures in the high 80s about the time the kids dismiss. A lot of schools tomorrow having an in-service day, so not everybody going to school tomorrow. The teachers will be there, the administrators will be there, but the students are probably going to be home in some locations, and a lot of folks heading back to school next week as well. Winds will be light out of the south for the most part, and not seeing a great deal of chances of rainfall, but some best around the time the kids get out of school into the rest of the afternoon. Thanks to, again, our National Weather Service personnel for posting the information here. Again, we've lost some of our graphics behind here. Again, 88, the high temperature. We did not make normal. We were above normal on the low temperature, but not on the high. No rain today. We're behind by a fraction of an inch for August, which for August, that's not that bad. Last year, we were definitely on the very dry side, no question about that. We still have a big holdover from May. Tons of moisture out there, and that did a good job of carrying us through the last few months. We'll have to take a look and see if the drought forecast is going to be showing anything different. Out and about tomorrow, temperatures back in the high 80s, and again, could be the potential of a lot of sunshine in between those clouds, so don't forget about the UV index, which is going to be up there, and isolated chances of showers and thunderstorms could be a bit of a concern out across portions of the area, so please keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the national map and show you that, again, we don't have a lot going on where we are. Some showers here and there just past 10 o'clock at night, and then as we go into the course of the next couple of days, high pressure, which has been a lot weaker over the Gulf of Mexico, has started to reassert itself and is doing a very good job of, again, giving us more moisture coming in, pushing all that moisture up into the continental United States off the Gulf of Mexico, and that's pushing back on a lot of the storm systems that could be making their way through the area. Now, behind these systems, a lot of dry continental air coming on through. Some of this moisture here off the Pacific, giving showers and thunderstorms to the areas of the Intermountain Rockies. And then again, we see the wind lines going northward, pushing all that moisture from the Gulf all the way up into the Dakotas and the high plains. That is going to give them some pretty good chances of severe weather up and around this particular location. But for now, again, this is not what we're going to be seeing coming our way, because high pressure is going to be blocking off a lot of this heading our way. We'll talk about the tropics in a little bit. We've got what's left of Dexter well out into the northwest Atlantic. Excuse me again, and what could be a tropical system just off the east coast. Now that again could be an issue, but again we'll take a look at the tropics data coming up here in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. For right now, again, we've got very quiet conditions again across much of the area, and again hopefully should be staying that way for the rest of the next several days. Let me just mention real quick that again, heat is not a major concern. Warmer, yes, but the hotter temperatures are well back off to our west. We are getting nothing in the way of heat advisories taking place here. Even to the east of the Mississippi River Valley, there's not much going on except up in northwest Illinois. The bulk of the heat advisories are way back to our west at this time. So heat, overabundance of heat, is not going to be a major concern for us in the next couple of days. Now, we are going to see, again, some above normal temperatures, the worst of which is going to be the plains, the upper Midwest, the Mississippi Valley, the Great Lakes, and especially back toward upstate New York and into around the area of back toward New England. So that is where we may see the potential, the worst heat potential coming up into the next several days. Climate Prediction Center from NOAA, the same NOAA that a certain project wants to get rid of, unfortunately. This right here, again, showing temperatures through mid-month, the short-range forecast, much above normal temperatures to our north. But for us, we're not picking up a lot of activity in the way of heat. We are seeing an increase overall, again, not seeing a lot of huge amounts of precipitation. That looks to be sticking up to the upper plains states and the western Great Lakes. So that's good news that we may see some more showers and thunderstorms, not for outdoor activities, but again for keeping the fire danger down and the drought situation a little bit more in hand. We see the heaviest potential of rain over the next 30 days, the mid-range forecast from the NOAA CPC, looking at best potential coastal Atlantic and coastal Gulf of Mexico, better potential of precipitation coming on in through there. We don't have that much in the way of a rainfall deficit. We're behind by a little bit for the last month or so, but we are still well above normal for rainfall for the past 30 days, 107% above normal. Again, that's not even close to what the Carolinas and Georgia are getting at this point in time, with 250+% around Charlotte. So some good news on the moisture there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast and give you an idea as to what is going to be coming up here into this area. Island Cove Marina and Resort, Lake Chickamauga, looking back to the west, little sky shine showing up here. And again, all of our cameras available on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network if you'd like to see those for yourself on your computer system. Into the next several days, we should be again looking at temperatures not really going much of anywhere. They're going to be a few degrees of fluctuation taking place, but really just not that much happening at this time. So good news on that. High and low temperatures, not that much fluctuating. Heading through Agent Orange Awareness Day on Sunday. High 80s to low 90s, just at to just below normal for this time of the year. National Vinyl Record Day coming up on Tuesday, so a decent day to celebrate staying indoors in the air conditioning, listening to some good music. I might have to drag out the White Album again and listen to that. Temperatures for lows in the upper 60s to lower 70s. We're not seeing a couple of things on here. No chance of severe weather. That's all way up to our north. No blistering hot hot temperatures, so that's good news. We're not seeing any threat of flash flooding, so 3 bits of good news on there all the way across this forecast. Now, we're not getting any cooler weather anytime soon, which would be nice, but for right now, again, the best potential is for these temperatures to remain within a very narrow margin, so not blazing hot, unfortunately not autumn cool yet, but we've got about, another let's see, month and 2 weeks, give or take, until the start of autumn. We're not that far away from it. It's getting closer. But for now, again, outdoor activities, this is what you're going to have to worry about. Hot and humid enough to cause some discomfort. Time to watch out again with the forecast with anybody exercising or working outdoors. Heat indexes will easily be back in the 90s, but no triple-digit temperatures across the area, and those chances of showers and thunderstorms could be just a bit of a concern into the next several days. Thanks to roofquotes.com for being our sponsor of our daily weather quiz. If you'd like to know more, head to, again, wdef.com/vote now. Tonight's question, not all, but most winds that are katabatic are winds that blow which direction? Upslope, downslope, or spiraling inwards? And Andrew Harrison and Kay Blevins, my 2 co-anchors, said upslope and downslope respectively. So Andrew, sorry you didn't make this one. Kay fell in with the majority of the votes, 68%, showing downslope winds. That is, in fact, the correct answer there. So thanks to everybody for voting. Head to wdef.com/vote now for more information. And to vote in our poll, we'll have a new one on the weather section going up at midnight. And it's time to vote for your favorite weather picture of the day. That'll be coming up again into the course of the next couple of days if you'd like to check back in on that. Heading into the tropics, and this is something that is very important. Couple of things to note here. Number one, we are not even at the peak of hurricane season. We're close. That happens. The midpoint is September 10th. And we're not quite there yet. We got about a month or so to go on that. So for right now, again, we haven't even hit the peak, and this is where activity really starts to ramp up. Now, a week ago, the Atlantic was blank. There was nothing happening. And as of right now, we have Dexter, which is a shell of its former self, lopsided, moving up over the colder waters of the North Atlantic. And this is going what is called post-tropical. It's now out of the tropics, out of the mid-latitudes, heading up to the colder waters. So it's more than likely going to do a pretty good job of going from tropical storm status down to maybe just a depression by the time we hit this time tomorrow night. Now, we have that system off the east coast, which is heading up, trailing Dexter. The neat thing about these storms is once they churn up the waters of the ocean, that takes the hot temperatures on the hotter level of the ocean surface and upwells a lot of cold water. So it's a good possibility that this disturbance, number one, following in Dexter's path, yes, it is over the Gulf Stream area, but it's probably also experiencing that colder water coming up from the depths, getting stirred up by Dexter's passage. So 20% chance of development, that's down from yesterday's 30%, which means confidence is starting to sink that this thing is going to do anything at this time. But if you're heading to anywhere on the coast, definitely want to pay attention to this. Like Dexter, this could scrape very close to New England and the Canadian Maritimes. Then we have this other system in mid-Atlantic, halfway between South America and Africa off the Sahel. This one has been up to a 60% chance of development, and this one curving its way to the northwest. The conventional weather wisdom from the National Hurricane Center is showing this heading northwest, but then curving back eventually to follow Dexter into those cold waters. Here's the thing. If you're heading to anywhere along the coastline, Gulf, Caribbean, Bahamas, East Coast, New England, Canadian Maritimes, this is the time of the year you especially want to watch and be weather aware when it comes to tropical season. You don't want to be heading into an area where if a storm is heading up this direction, you're just going to have to turn right back around and evacuate out of. So getting a good idea about what's going on with the weather, that's going to help you to choose your vacation a little more carefully and to make absolutely certain you know what is going on where the weather is concerned. So please keep it tuned to News 12. We'll keep you advised on this, and then we'll also, again, give you an idea as to what's going on with the tropics. But this is a good indication that the Atlantic is starting to wake up. And remember that portions of the Atlantic, the Gulf Coast area, and the Caribbean are bathtub warm. Anything above 80 degrees in the ocean, on the ocean temperatures in that first several feet excuse me, of ocean water is exceptionally climate change driven warm, and that could cause anything that forms out here, depending on the conditions, to undergo what is called RI, or rapid intensification. That is again, these things can go from tropical storm to Category 5 hurricanes, as we saw, I believe it was Otis on the west coast of Mexico last year, 8 to 9 hours, tropical storm to Category 5 hurricane. That is explosive development, and that could happen with any of these storms at any time, given the right conditions. And that is why you need to be weather aware. So definitely want to stay tuned to see what is coming up in the near future, and pay attention to the forecast before you go any place in the course of the next several days. So again, please use caution and, of course, common sense out there. All right, let's do a check right now. We didn't do the Gulf forecast last night, so for all the duffers out there, temperatures today very close to where they tomorrow where they were today, high 80s to lower 90s. There will be a heat index out there, so keep that in mind. And for the golfers out there, there will be shower and thunderstorm chances in the afternoon and evening especially, so please keep that in mind as we go through the course of the next several days. Mentioned this last night briefly, but I want to make certain that everybody knows about this. The National Severe Storms Laboratory, the research arm of National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, yes, the one the current federal government wants to get rid of for some unknown, insane, ridiculous project number reason. This right here is a good way to practice citizen science. If you've ever been through a tornado, know somebody who has been through damaging severe thunderstorm winds, anything involving severe weather you have personally gone through, the National Severe Storms Laboratory wants you to tell your story to them in order to help them get more information about how to make warnings more reliable and more helpful to the public at large. This is a very important thing, and they can't do it without your help. It's a good way to, again, be involved in citizen science, and your great opportunity to do this. Take a survey at inside.nssl.noaa.gov tornado/-tails, or you can just go to our website, wdef.com/weather, if you would like to take part in this. This is really cool to be able to help make policy that might save lives down the line, and you can help do that by going to this website and participating in a citizen science related type situation. So please consider doing that. Likewise, this is the time of the year to get ready for severe weather when none is expected. If you don't have a weather radio, get one. If you do have one and don't have it programmed yet, they're not really radios per se anymore. They're like computers with radios attached to them. And if you want to program the computer that drives the radio, you can program in which counties you want to be alerted for. If you're in Hamilton County and you don't care to get anything, say, east of Hamilton County, you can program out all those counties. If you want to get everything to the west of you, you can tell this computer/radio what you want to know about, and it will do so. If you've never done anything like programming this before, it's very easy. We can help you do that at wdef.com/weather if you'd like to know more about that, so drop by on there. And last but not least, the National Weather Service in Morristown. We're coming up on severe weather season number 2. Number 1 is roughly January through about April. October, November, December is storm season number 2 around here. So this is something to really take a look at. If you are, maybe you just moved here, maybe you've never, ever been through a tornado warning. And if you'd like to know more about what to do when severe weather hits, how to act, where to go to for shelter, great websites for information about increasing knowledge and decreasing fear. Panic helps nobody. And preparing ahead of time, that's what you want to do. And this is a great website to deal with. Go to weather.gov/MRX and find out more from the expert and meteorologist at the National Weather Service under the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The project with the year number after it, whatever they are, and however they think, they are absolutely, terribly, totally backwards ass wrong about attacking NOAA because they just talk about climate change. They do not just talk about climate change. Climate change is happening, and humans are responsible, you and me, for the state of our atmosphere. Canceling NOAA is not going to stop that conversation. It's not a good idea. It's a backwards idea. And again, NOAA helps people to understand what goes on. The idea about turning all of this over to a private forecasting firm is ludicrous, stupid, backwards, and absolutely inwardly selfish thinking. So keeping NOAA funded, fully staffed, and able to do its job, that's what helps to protect people, not only in the United States, but research from all these agencies can help people around the rest of the world. And if we want to be, again, America as number one, if we want to help out on stuff like that, we need to stop dealing with the Department of Government Efficiency, and we need to start looking at how well we do things, especially when it comes to weather and science and climate and things like that. And cutting the budget and the personnel of these offices is a sick, stupid, backwards thing to do. So this is something to really think about the next time you're in the ballot box about what our leaders are doing to make America less safe by cutting agencies like this. So please, again, make certain you are noting that the next time you set foot in a ballot box. Either way, if you know somebody who would like to know more about severe weather to help make certain they don't get too scared, this is where you want to go, and this is what you want to take a look at. So a great opportunity here for more information from NOAA, a great agency, and one of the best ideas the National Weather Service has indeed ever had. Let's see if our graphics are still in play here. They are not. Okay, well, have to reset the graphics, it looks like. Pardon for the great gray blank space, but this is the end of Weather Overtime. We're going to wrap things up and send it back to your regular Thursday night. We've gone about 22 minutes. That's not too bad for this evening. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, again, lower section of the screen, aonic@wdef.com. You can get the replay of this at wdef.com/weather. And of course, if you have an idea, a story idea, if you've got anything you want to contact us about, you can find it out on the website. I'm on all these social media pages, Twitch and YouTube, and can as well in there. So if you'd like to know more, please contact me and find out more again at our website at wdef.com/weather. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. News 12's Chip Chapman will have your forecast bright and early on Friday morning, so stay tuned for more on that. Thanks for joining us for Thursday night for our exclusive video weather blog, Weather Overtime, and we'll talk to you again